Welcome everybody to sunny Southern California. Out here at the Naval Base tonight for Road and Plate, the first race of a new season after last year's thrilling season-long points battle. We are back for another. I am Sean Signori here with Big Al and Cam Gillens up here in the booth. Looking forward to a great season opening race here at Coronado Naval Base, the UNO 250 at Coronado. 3 miles long, 16 turns through the streets and through the runways of this naval base that was a new crown jewel on the NASCAR schedule. Big Al, how are you looking forward to tonight? Opening first race here with us here at Regular Racing Network.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna say what feels right. Anchors away. Anchors away. There we go.
Anchors away. Yeah.
Super excited,
Big
Sean. Ready to get this one kicked off, man. Back here at Coronado, seems like it wasn't that long ago we were here, but here we are again. And tonight we're gonna be doing something different. I think these trucks are actually gonna be pretty spectacular to watch.
I would have to agree. Last year, these guys put on great shows, hell of a shows on the road course week in and week out. Really was surprising for me and Ellis in the booth how competitive these fellas were on the road course. Never mind coming to a new one this time around to kick off the season. And you're right, it wasn't long ago here we were watching Corey Heim win his first Cup race and a great Xfinity race. I believe Austin Hill won, and here we are putting on a show. Probably going to put on a show that's better than the real truck race here tonight. So everybody strap in and get ready for a long season ahead. We're going to check out the schedule now up ahead and run through this new season of the Road and Plate Series. Now, Big Al, these guys are pretty unique. They only run on the road courses and the super speedways, as the name entails. And that actually kind of makes up for a pretty good mix of tracks. Next week we're going to be at Talladega, then going to the road course out in Big Al country, Barber Motorsports Park. Yeah, and then my country, Daytona, is the fourth week on the schedule. Then to Watkins, Glen, a perennial stop on the NASCAR tour, and then it's an off week for these guys. And then before that, we're going to be heading to Michigan, which is not necessarily a plate track, but it races like one. These guys went to Darlington last year instead, and Michigan's going to be a pretty good replacement for that. And then we're going on to Portland, back to Talladega, and then the Bend. Going to be going overseas, our first stop overseas in Australia. I'm not sure if you have done any races there, Big Al, but the Bend is quite a racetrack. So these guys are going to have their hands full there. Then it's back to Daytona, and then a season finale at Le Mans, which plenty of guys should have some laps around, and that's going to be quite a season finale. But there's a taste of the schedule ahead. Now, I'm sure. You got any thoughts about all these tracks coming up for us, Big Al?
Yeah, a handful. This is definitely going to be a handful. These tracks, they vary so much in nature, week in and week out. Yeah, I think these drivers are definitely going to have to be on their edge, because the transition from a super speedway to a road course, that's probably one of the most dramatic transitions you can actually make.
Yeah, it's basically two different ends of the spectrum, right? Like no short tracks, no braking in between, and then we come to a place where you gotta need all the brakes in the world at a place like this or Barber Motorsports Park, and then go to Talladega and Daytona where it's wide open. And these guys, they put on good shows no matter what kind of racetrack that we're going to be on. And so we're gonna, with your first race here with us here at the Road and Plate Truck Series, it's gonna be a new format for you, Big Al, but the same format for everybody coming back from last year. It's gonna have a 15-minute sprint race to start off the weekend for us. Then we're gonna have an invert. Last year it was the top 10 invert, but this year it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a random invert every week. Then we're going to cap it off with a 35-minute feature race at the end where the big points and the big money is on the line. And here's some of our pre-race stories, Big Al, shaking off the dust. These guys have been sitting around for about 2 months in the off season. Maybe they've gotten some officials in, maybe not, but right now these guys, we can only assume they're going to be a little rusty. Our second Our second story of the night is going to be track position, especially at a racetrack like this. These guys might not have all the laps in the world underneath them. Track position and passing comes at a premium here, and just like at every road course, it's hard to get the pass done. Will we see tire wear? Well, from what I saw in practice, tire wear might play a factor tonight. Big bumpy road course, all kinds of different surfaces, definitely played a factor in the real life races that were held here in July. And then the random invert. We saw a lot of games coming into towards the end of those sprint races last year, top 10 position. You know, a lot of guys falling back to 10th, falling back to 9th. We called 11th the big loser of the night. But now with it being a random invert, that pole sitter, he's going to come from who knows where. Could be the top 5, could be the top 10, could be outside of both those positions. And Big Al, I think we're getting away with our pace lap right now. It's going to be quite a long pace lap around here at Coronado, but we're going to be able to bring you the starting grid for tonight. On the pole, in the 70 car, that yellow number 70 is going to be, you're going to be seeing a lot of him up front, Big Al. It's going to be Aaron Smith in that number 70 truck. Next to him, Michael McCoy, the very first Rolling Plate champion, came in last year, had a couple good races, had a couple wins. I believe he won at Sonoma. Coming across, he's going to be starting second tonight. Evan Hubchak, the Palm Rat number 7 truck, he's going to be starting third. And next to him in fourth, Jeffrey Schnackle. I believe that is a new name to the series this year. Starting fifth, last year's series champion, Matt Schlosser in that 400. Big Al, this guy was dominant from the beginning of the year. The first green flag, he went out there and won, and he never looked back. So many big races out of that 400 last year that really put that championship season together. Ryan Campbell, probably our most improved driver from last year, really put in some big races there towards the end of the season, came home second in the points, going to be starting sixth. Starting seventh tonight is going to be Jimmy Moore in the 12, and next to him, Mike Thompson in the 115. And then your fifth row tonight is going to be Sean Campbell in that 54 truck. Next to him is Laura Wiseman in the 24, new number for her out here this season. You can take it away, Big Al.
Yeah, that's going to put Mark Royce starting on the 11 spot. He's going to have my main man, Chase Barry, on his outside. And we're going to get into Johnny Rapp, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He's going to be sitting on his outside of Zachary Mitchell. Sam Stoner is going to be sitting on row 8 with double AA Ron Bray on his outside. And rounding out as your top 20, you're going to have, Randy Gross in 17th and Jay Bass in 18th.
Team Randy.
And now, rounding out your top 20, you're going to have Dan Ott and Jacob Phillips.
Starting 21st tonight in the 1 truck is going to be Benson Weaver, and next to him, Tom Wayne, starting 22nd. Wayne Garland in the 84 truck. I believe he's actually running the 35 tonight on the racetrack. You'll see him as a 35, starting in 23rd. Chris Winslow in 24th. Steve Vest in the 60, going to be starting 25th. Joseph Klein starting in 26th. And the final row on the grid is going to be Daniel Foss in the 83, and Chance Manning actually did not make the grid tonight. So bringing up the rear is going to be Daniel. Lots of good-looking trucks out here tonight, Big Al. Who you got your eye on?
Well, man, you really didn't give me much of a choice once you said what all the 400 had accomplished. So, man, you know me. I'm gonna shoot that duck, and I'm gonna go with Matt Foster.
Oh, man, you took the easy road. Well, you know what? I'm going to take another heavyweight. We'll go alongside you in the 70 truck of Aaron Smith. I think he's got the cojones to bring it home tonight. Cam, our producer, we're going to bring you in for a second. Who do you got your eye on tonight? Who is your pick? 10-4. Thank you, Cam. So we got some pretty good trucks out there that we have picked. I wonder if any of them are going to take home the checker tonight. Would be pretty far-fetched to think one of those three can't do it. But like we saw last year, week in and week out, anything is possible in these road and plate races. Coming up to the final chicane now. Aaron Smith on the pole. Next to him is going to be Michael McCoy. This sprint race is going to be about 7 laps. So that's it until the next invert for the first invert of the year. So see who brings home that first checkered flag. Pace car is off, coming up into the final turn. In the restart zone now, green flag is out. Big jump for Aaron Smith. He leads the whole field away. Pack of 25 trucks coming at us now into turn 1. Aaron Smith with a little bit of track position over Michael McCoy. Coming down the hill, McCoy is going to fall in line. Evan Hupchak into 3rd. Schnickel's going to fall into 4th. And it looks pretty orderly so far coming through the first turn. See a move back there by Jimmy Moore going to the inside. I believe that's going to be for the 6th position. It's going to be side by side with Schlosser. Pretty bumpy right there, but not a place you want to be side by side, but they were able to pull it off coming up what I call a little short shoot here into turn 6. A nice little over under by the 400. Seeing it so far here early, Big Al. That 400's got a little bit of speed in them.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching this thing from the front through the middle, all the way through the back of the field. I've seen contact the 400 right there, drifting as you see him coming around the corner. Matt Foster, that's the guy. He's still going to be in it, though, and I'm going to tell you, I even saw a truck hit the wall way back there when we were under the pacing lap. I just been sitting here waiting. I mean, like, this has been awesome.
And track gets tight right there going into that corner. A little bit of rear contact from Jimmy Moore. Gave his condolences over the radio, but Matt able to hold on to it and keep going. Up front, though, it is still Aaron Smith holding that track position over to 33 of Michael McCoy. But McCoy is not going anywhere, Big Al. He's sticking with that back bumper.
Yeah, indeed. And Aaron Smith is doing a great job of leading this thing. You know, with the pressure that he's still feeling on this back end from Mr. McCoy, he is still doing everything right now. It seems like he's not even bothered about the people behind him. He's got his eyes focused on the front, and that's exactly where it needs to be right now. Don't race the relative, race the track.
Exactly. Wise words from Big Al right there as they come through the chicane first time. It's insane how close they get to those tires and not able to hit them lap after lap. I imagine we're going to see somebody make contact with those tires in the field tonight. First time around on the first season, your leader is going to be Aaron Smith. But a big run down the hill. Here comes McCoy. Was able to get the power coming out of turn 1. Aaron's going to have to run defensive into 2. We'll see if that gives up any speed for him coming down this little chute right here. It does not. And into turn 3, Aaron Smith still going to be holding position out front. Going to be looking back right there. Matt Schlosser all over the back of that 18 of Ryan Campbell. He had a little gap there after that contact with Jimmy Moore. In about a half a lap, he's been able to catch this 18 as Schnackle pulls out to try to pass Hupchak. But behind them, Schlosser is able to get the job done for 5th spot. Up 2 positions here early. Into the hard break. Go ahead, Big Al.
Going back, watching the leaderboard right here. Aaron Smith being able to lead the way was the only driver right there on that last lap that actually had a sub 224 lap, coming in at 223.699. So that's letting you know, being out front, advantageous not only to clean air, but he's actually able to just kind of breathe easy and roll through.
Well, he's away from that traffic too. That traffic is such a killer here on the road courses, and being up front, able to run at your own pace is only going to stretch that lead. We see it in both NASCAR and even in the road racing that's out there in real life. You know, those Formula One leaders, they're up by 30 seconds in about 5 laps just being out of the traffic. as McCoy still sticking with him now as they come through turn 13. This is one of the hardest tracks on the course as Smith goes really wide. The truck does not feel good through there. McCoy had to take a breather out of it. Three wide into the chicane. Here comes Schnackle to the inside. He's going to blow the entry there. Almost got to the back of Aaron Smith, and this is going to give a headache to the guys behind him because now he's got the slowdown, and now he's going to have to hold them off. That's going to be good for Aaron Smith as Schnackle really sideways coming across the final turn. Man, that was almost a real bad hire.
Yeah, like you said, Aaron Smith couldn't have asked for a better gift right there. And that gift he's taking total advantage of as he is actually putting that 70 in to win. Schnackle doing everything he can right now, but like you said, he got the slowdown penalty. But because of that, he has really busted up our bachelor party back here.
Yeah, most definitely Evan Hubchak was a victim to Matt Schlosser going down into turn 2. Ryan Campbell is also going to get the job done. Coming into, I call this the long sweeper right here because it is bumpy and it is a long turn. Jimmy Moore is going to be looking to get that job done on the 7 as well, who's down 2 positions this lap alone. Schlosser, though, the big mover so far, he's going to be up 3 positions. Up past Evan Hubchak. Really putting on a little bit of a display of strength, but this is something we saw time and time again last year. Big Al was this 400. He started a little bit on the back foot in some of those races, but throughout that first half of the truck race, of these races, he was able to move straight to the front, and a lot of times he ended up first or second at the end of it. So Schlosser definitely going for the back-to-back championships this year, setting his year off on a high note.
Yeah, he's just sitting back right now, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He needs to be patient. You know, there's no reason to come out here right now, dive bomb the corners, try to get up front. You just got to race. There's a lot of racing left to go here through the day, and you know, you just got to give yourself an opportunity to race this track, and hopefully, like I said, be available at the end of this thing to make those major moves.
Truck in the wall, and the backstretch is going to be the 52 of Johnny Rapp. As you see him come to a stop there and let those guys take the preferred line. I wonder if he hit that tire barrier on the inside there. So we're going to watch it on the replay machine here. No, just cooks the brakes as he hit the tires. Ooh, just barely does not. Slight contact with the wall. It's going to be a pretty good job by Johnny Rapp, to be honest, to minimize the damage of that little trip right there.
Yeah, that could have been far more egregious. So good on the 52, keeping her clean and out of the paint. There we go.
Schlosser right now all over the back of the 33. As we see, Schnackle has now caught Aaron Smith. That's not something we see often as somebody has caught that 70, but it is true for the 230 of Jeffrey Schnackle. First race for him in this series, really putting on a good show right now. They saw that 3 wide move a lap and a half ago, and he was not that far behind Aaron Smith, but he has definitely closed that gap in from where he was coming out of that chicane. That is for sure. So Aaron goes a little wide there. I believe that's coming through turn 5. You see that 230 able to hold that pressure on him. He's also a battle for third on the racetrack as well. That's going to be the 33 of McCoy and Matt Schlosser. They got themselves a pack of trucks behind them. Ryan Campbell, Evan Hubchak, Jimmy Moore, all sitting in line.
You're watching this battle intently unfold here, and unfortunately, the 400 just can't seem to find a way around Jeffrey Schnackle. That's actually holding him up right now, and that's allowing these guys behind him to kind of keep that a little bit closer together. Some of the guys that were further back now coming towards the front. Once the 400 finds the space to get around the 33, though, he is going to have to put the hammer down in order to catch those 2 guys in front of him.
That's not something I would put past Max Schlosser in the 400. But the problem is going to be once he gets around the 33, does the 33 hold up the guys back there? Ryan Campbell, Evan Hubchak. But right now, he's able to grow a little bit of a gap. But here comes Schlosser through 15. One of the hardest corners on this racetrack right here. As you see the truck all sorts of sideways coming through there into the chicane. Here comes the defensive line from McCoy. You see the back end just going all over the place. coming across the line this time by. We're going to be starting lap 5. About 6 minutes left in the sprint race. Oh, Schlosser, big sideways over the hump. We're going to see that probably a couple times tonight. The trucks really lose grip right there coming over that little crest on the public road, and there are some bumps to navigate as well while you're coming over that crest. Just a little slight tap on the wall. See it on the replay here. Wow, look at that Big Al. How did he not hit that wall harder?
Yeah.
The wheel man that is in that 400 showing his prowess again. But right now, up front, Aaron Smith still able to hold that lead over Jeffrey Schnackle. We saw Schnackle close in after he had made that big move for second. Put a lot of pressure on him, but over the last lap or so has not been able to capitalize on it. And last time around, Aaron Smith was just a little bit faster on the stopwatch. Oh, there's a mistake right there. Locking up the rears. Where'd he go? There he is right there. Offline. This is a chance for Jeffrey Schnackle to make a move, and he knows it. Big momentum coming from the 230. He's going to look to the inside into the chicane. Not able to get there. Where does he make the move? We saw him make a big move going into the final chicane there a couple laps ago. As around goes the 33 of Michael McCoy.
But speaking of making a move, the 400 right there, Matt Schlosser actually able to get around Jeffrey Schnackle.
The 33 spun right there as you see it on the replay.
Yeah,
I don't believe they made contact. It was all on the brakes right there for Michael McCoy. Campbell able to get by. Most of these trucks able to get by cleanly.
Oh! He's not going to like that, and it's not going to buff out. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, some pretty big contact there to the, well, maybe not contact, but it is some big losses on the positions right now, as last time around McCoy was down outside the top 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
This battle for the lead, though, it's only going to heat up now that the 400's kind of been released behind the 33. I can only assume that Matt Schlosser is going to be closing in on these two in front of him. Last time around, he was the fastest truck on the racetrack. And that was only with a couple corners of clean air. That is only going to put the pressure on the 230 to get the job done if he can get around Aaron Smith. Right now, that is the battle up front with about a lap and a half to go.
Yeah, that cost McCoy dearly. Now he's seen all the way back in 16th position. Might work out for him here depending on what the invert is.
Most definitely. We do not know the invert number, neither do these drivers. They will find out, I believe they'll find out after the completion of the sprint race, which is, I guess, how it should be. Just so there's no games and no ulterior motives. Battle up front, though. We've seen Aaron Smith just be a little offline there again. Schnackle not able to close in, though. So you can see that 400 looming in the background. He is the one on the move. It's already closed in about half a second alone in this lap. Aaron Smith trying to use all his experience and all his racecraft to pull this one out of the hat. He has had that pressure on the rear tailgate for most of this sprint race. And here comes Schnackle, though. He's pretty close coming into the chicane. Does he turn to make a move? He does not. A little rear brake. A little sideways on that rear brake right there for the 70. That's going to cost them both time. And there's that 400 into the picture.
That's precisely the reason that Schnackle needed to make that pass.
White flag
right now,
is waving.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Into the wall was Schnackle coming across to get the white flag. We're going to see if that affects the truck at all. Big dive right here for Matt Schlosser to the inside of Jeffrey. They make contact. Able to get it going was the 230. But, man, that was a send of all sends right there on Big Al.
Yeah, absolutely.
Schlosser still putting that pressure on the 230 through the big sweeper. Battle for second position. This is exactly what Aaron Smith wants to see in that mirror. Oh man, that 230 is all over the road. Fighting for dear life as Schlosser pulls a little bit of a dummy, not able to push Jeffrey into a mistake, but he's going to be pretty close right here as they come up into turn 8. Oh, almost to the back bumper. There's a little mistake there out of the 400, almost getting too close, cost him a little bit of momentum coming off the corner. But Aaron Smith in that 70, he is driving away. Just a couple more opportunities here for Schlosser to get the job done. Not able to do it in there. Some big speed for the 230. Almost clips the wall on the exit. That was pretty tight. Is Schlosser able to get the move on him here? Slip a little bit offline is the 230. He's going to have a little bit of momentum. He's going to be close. Just not close enough. Aaron Smith coming off of the chicane as Schlosser is going to make a run for second here into the final turn. Ooh, don't see him come out of that often. Aaron Smith is your winner. Schnackle comes home in second, able to hold off the 400 for that third and final podium spot. How was that, Big Al, for an introduction?
That's pretty good for an introduction. Definitely saw a lot of drivers being held up in traffic, if you will. But I think that's going to be something that's definitely going to be the same theme once we get into the invert traffic.
Oh, there's going to be traffic problems from here to the end of the season with these guys on the road courses. Still some battling going on. Daniel Foss trying to get the job done for 19th over Benson Weaver coming across the line. Benson is going to hold him off. Shows how big of a gap maybe some of these leaders have gotten over these 7 laps. That is just going up to about do it for the sprint race.
Wow. Looking at that. What truck is that? Got a couple beat up trucks out here.
A couple beat up trucks for sure, with these walls being so close. It is a little bit of a meat grinder out there. How about we bring our winner of the sprint race up into the booth right now? Gonna try and grab, give me 1 second while I grab Aaron Smith. It's kind of hard to move him. He's all the way up there. Aaron Smith, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Well. Started on pole, was able to pull away and, well, not pull away too much, but able to take home the win to start off the season here in the sprint race. Run us through that chaotic 7 laps, at least from our seat.
It's only 7 laps. Good grief! It felt like 20. So I was making so many mistakes in that second half of the last section, giving up a lot of time, just checking the car up way too much. And I'm gonna have to work on that if I'm gonna keep the lead here in the feature, or however whenever I get there, I guess. But yeah, it showed my weaknesses, and I'm hopefully I'll be able to work on them on the fly.
So who are you feeling the most pressure from there early? Was it the 33 or the 230 that felt like that maybe in your mind might be the person you're going to have to contend with the most here in this feature race?
Oh yeah, between the 230, the 33, and the 400. You can't have any of them behind you if you're going to mess up sections the way I was doing. Because they were playing nice with me. They didn't dive to the inside going into the chicane, because that wouldn't have ended well for anybody. But now that we're in the main event, we're going to be deeper in the field. We're going to have to make moves as soon as we get them. And yeah, I just got to make sure I don't leave those holes open there.
So being further back in the field, obviously, like you said, you're going to have to make some moves. You're going to have to get around some cars and deal with the traffic. Where do you think is possibly that best passing zone out here at this road course that's new to us all?
Well, we have plenty of braking zones. We have plenty of really deep 90-degree left-handers. I think that's where my moves are going to be made because you can the track is so wide in certain places you can get away with chucking the car in, just letting it eat. I'll just have to see that through.
You're going to be pretty far back there, we just found out.
Oh no.
That is
Well,
pretty deep in the field. You got more cars than you do minutes.
I think we'll be all right. If I get the runs, I'm going to take them. Whatever happens is going to happen. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Hopefully, we don't end up with the track blocker here, or maybe we do. Hopefully, we do. I don't know. We'll
I'll
see.
tell you what, it's going to be exciting from our seats. We'll have to cut you loose and let you prepare for starting that far back.
10-4. Appreciate you.
Yeah, congratulations on your sprint win here this evening. That is Aaron Smith in that 70 car. And we just found out, Big Al, the invert is going to be the top 22 positions. What are your thoughts?
A lot of guys are going to have to do a lot of work, and they're going to have a lot of patience, because what I've noticed from the beginning, from the first feature, is it's passable, but you got to be aggressive. And I've seen a lot of guys actually lose valuable time because they were kind of caught up. And I said that before, and I'll say it again. So traffic is gonna be the one issue that we're going to be looking out for.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch. We're going to have the guys with some pace pretty far back and some new players up front that we don't usually see up front necessarily on the road courses. They can be a problem at those plate tracks, but there is a little bit of a hierarchy on these road courses coming from last year, and it's definitely going to mix things up here at the beginning. Going to step away and take that quick break right now before we go green for our feature race, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
Welcome back to Navy Base Coronado. We just saw a hell of a sprint race there, Big Al. What are your thoughts coming into this feature?
Yeah, I tell you, the biggest thing's going to be with the field inverted. I was looking at the lap times, man, and some of these guys that are going to be up front now, they were considerably slower than the guys going to be trying to plow through the field, if you will, to get up to the front. And I think that's going to be where our most contentious point's going to be, and that's what's going to make this race so much more exciting.
Most definitely. I'd say from about 15th on back is going to be an Oklahoma land rush, trying to get some of those positions here on this first lap, because you pass one more truck or two more trucks on this first couple laps here and put some of these guys in between you and the 400 and the 33. It might pay off towards the end of this race. The first couple laps of this feature race is going to mean everything to these fellas out here.
Yeah, indeed. And not to know exactly how many laps you got to get done, you don't have time to waste Once that green flag flies, these guys have to execute and start making their way through the field, and you got to make big moves, and you're going to have to make them quick. So I expect to see a couple of major dive bombs coming somewhere in the first 6 turns. You can expect this entire field to be shook up. Not
And
everybody, not everybody's
sorry,
going to make it.
not everybody is going to make it. You are right. We even had a couple trucks not make it in the sprint race, even one due to the connection issues. But I think, like Aaron Smith alluded to, that track blocking wreck, it can happen here on this style of road courses because, most of these road courses and some of these other road courses that we go to, we have grass and gravel traps that outline the barrier of the racetrack. But here we have concrete barriers, and we saw a big wreck in the Xfinity race here in real life, and I think we might see a couple wrecks here in this sprint race. I mean, sorry, in this feature race. But it wouldn't surprise me, Big Al, if these guys brought it home all in one piece because they're pretty handy on the road course. Even some of those slower guys that you were alluding to.
Yeah, I hate to say slower guys, but I mean guys that aren't as fast as some of the guys that we saw. It's just going to be, trying to get from the back to the front. It's going to be a minefield.
You see the guys now working through the invert process right now on your screen. But I believe with that, Chris Winslow in the 45, he's going to be your pole sitter. Next to him is going to be the 28 of Tom Waite. Tom Waite, a pretty good painter, actually did a car for me earlier in this season. Pretty skilled painter. If you need a paint job done, you can hit up Evan Pianta Designs or Tom Waite. He is somebody you want working on your stuff. That second row is going to be Daniel Foss and Benson Weaver. And because of this invert, we're going to have a little bit of a mess here on the pace lap, but these guys are working their way through it.
It's got quite a bit to sort out right here, trying to get guys in the right place. It's quite an undertaking, especially if you're doing all of this under a pace lap. So guys in the back trying to go back, guys in the front trying to go back, guys in the back trying to come forward. It's okay. I'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out eventually. We got to work through the kinks right now of a new season, some new rules, maybe some, learning going on here by everybody. So next week it will go probably a whole lot smoother. But the random invert, I believe it's going to bring a new level to these races. Last year, with it being the top 10, we had a couple instances where we had some new players up front that lucked into 9th and 10th place finishes and some chaotic races. But
this isn't good. You see that large gap right there behind the pace car where you've only got 5 trucks. There should be, in my calculation, at least 22 more trucks up here in this gaggle.
Yeah. They're a little short right now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're really stretching it out here.
Yeah, they should be coming soon. And if we got to get another pace lap under our belts, we can.
Yeah, it might not be going green at this rate.
I don't believe so. Well, some guys kind of have to get with the program here, understand the inverts. But this is, a first first time they're doing it. So, I don't blame them all for having some sort of problem. Next week will be a different story, I imagine.
Oh man, Aaron Smith has quite a few trucks behind him. If we could just tune into the 70. Now, where these guys are in relationship to the leaders is what I'm not real sure of.
Yeah, they're a couple corners behind that leading pack. We only got a couple more corners left, so hopefully they add another lap to this pacing procedure, I should say, pre-race procedure.
If they're trying to make it challenging, they're doing just that. But probably a little bit better if we could get this, bunched up a lot more. Are we going to go green? That's the question.
And with this new extra pace lap that we're probably going to end up doing, that's going to change the fuel for a couple of these guys. Big Al, one thing we saw time and time again in these feature races last year was the pit stop and the pit strategy. These guys had to make a splash and go just about for fuel in most of these races, as the second lap is added to the pace lap there, just to help these guys kind of sort out this starting grid. I believe it will be worth it for us, though, once we do get this sorted out and get going. I'd say it's worth the pain right now that we're going through. But that pit stop was so vital, with it only being 3 or 4 gallons most of the time. The timing of it and how you entered and got off pit road, and we even had some tire strategies that played parts in the endings of these races. So if adding that pace lap, Big Al, you would know that it's gonna maybe skew that pit stop timing just a little bit, and we might even see somebody get caught out by it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's gonna throw off the fuel mileage. It's gonna give you a little bit, gonna give you a couple more gallons to play with, which is gonna definitely offset pitting laps, stop times.
Most definitely. Will just play a factor. And, it might even play a factor to some of these leaders up front. As we come across the line, going to have one more pace lap around. You're going to see that new front row right there of 28 Tom Waite and Chris Winslow. An opportunity for them to maybe get away. These guys, they might not have Matt Schlosser pace, but they got pace to get away if something happens, especially with no cautions. What do you think, Big Al? Maybe we can pull Chris Winslow in here real quick under yellow just so we can get his thoughts before leaving his field under green?
We absolutely have time.
Chris Winslow, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, congratulations, man. You are the lucky lotto winner of the night, starting P1. How does it feel?
Oh, man, I'm just excited to be here in this field tonight. Let us give a shout out to pausofwar.org, a great organization helping support tonight. And hopefully just trying to put together a good race tonight for everyone here.
Well, we saw you actually run pretty strong in some of those plate races last year, and you had some struggles on those road courses. But you think that maybe this could be the turning point for you to got a little bit of luck on your side with the track position? You think maybe a top 10 finish is on the cards for the 45 tonight?
Well, I'll be happy just to finish in the field tonight. I'm not looking for any certain positions. A top 10 would be great. I would love to have a top 10 finish. But honestly, just want to finish tonight out strong, have a good showing, and hopefully get some points here.
Well, congratulations to you, man. Hope we're gonna have to wish you luck from up here in the booth, and we're gonna be rooting you on. That is for sure.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good luck, brother.
All right.
Big Al, man, you can almost hear the nervousness in his voice.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. He's got mirrors in that truck, and I guarantee you he's seen what's behind him. And he doesn't, I mean, he's a great guy, but I don't think he's used to having this many trucks stacked up like this behind him. And on this course, he kind of knows what's actually getting ready to happen.
That's for sure. Quick run through your top 10 right now, your starting grid. Chris Winslow, Tom Waite, your front row. Then it's going to be Benson Weaver and Daniel Foss, Dan Ott and Jacob Phillips, your third row. Sam Stoner, Michael McCoy, your fourth row. And then it's Aaron Bray. And I just saw who it was next to him, and Mark Royce. So Aaron Bray and Mark Royce making up that fourth row. Mark, we've seen have some good speed on the road courses as well. Was a winner at Talladega last year in that 44 Harley Davidson. Still rocking that same paint scheme. That was a fan favorite for the guys in the YouTube chat. And if you are there, you can drop a little like or follow. This is a new channel for all of us participating in. So we look forward to seeing you guys week in and week out. It was a lot of fun last year. I look forward to a fun year ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. It's getting ready to get pretty exciting right now. I'm telling you, once that pace car dips off and away and we get back to work for this feature, it's going to be time to go to work. There's going to be a lot going on down there, brother.
That is for sure. I'm just checking in the view from Aaron Smith's truck starting 22nd. And he's got a whole lot of trucks in front of him. Ryan Campbell, Matt Schlosser, Jimmy Moore. You know, the hard trucks of the past are going to be the ones starting right there in front of them. It is going to certainly be a mess. But 35 minutes is a lot of time to get something done. We're looking at 16 laps, though. It doesn't sound like a long way, Big Al, but 16 laps around a 3-mile track is definitely an endurance test.
Yeah. That's an understatement. I mean, 16 laps, 16 turns.
16 difficult turns, that is for sure. 16 turns plus a chicane. The corner numbers don't even count for this one right here. This is probably the biggest corner of them all. As we come through the final turn, pace car pulling off. Chris Winslow in the 45 is going to be your leader to start the first feature race of the year here in San Diego. Green flag is out. 45 going to be getting a jump. Side by side with Tom Wink coming down the hill. Does anybody fan out and make the move? Tom Wink going to be taking the position on the inside, following him through. Believe that is Benson Weaver in the 1. Trying to get that second position away from Chris Winslow, but does not get the job done. There, side by side.
Start.
Yeah, pretty clean start throughout the field. Oh, we got a truck in the wall coming through the sweeper. We got a wreck right there. Mark Lloyd, 29.
That's
more trucks involved. Aaron Bray, caution is out. Jimmy Moore involved. Wow, that is probably one of the biggest wrecks I've seen these guys pull off.
Pit road's getting ready to be really busy.
Yeah, pit road is going to be real busy. It started with Benson Weaver, who was actually your third place truck. And there's that track blocker that Aaron Smith was alluding to right there. He called it. So on the replay machine here, you're going to see Benson Weaver there on the outside. He's going to get up in the dirty stuff into the wall. Dan Ott's going to move to get around him. Is there just going to look at it. And then the 44 sliding back across the track. You see the 12 of Moore get involved. Aaron Bray. I believe we saw a couple trucks actually get some damage there. Matt Schlosser. A lot of our favorite trucks on the racetrack there, our fast guys, got some sort of piece in that.
That's one of the big problems with being in the rear. You know, these guys being up front, you kind of have the opportunity to outrun a lot of the craziness. But once you're stuck back in the back, you're really just alone for the ride.
Yeah, I'm counting Jimmy Moore, Aaron Smith, Jeffrey Schnackle. I believe our whole top three trucks got some sort of piece in that wreck. Maybe Matt Schlosser might have been the only one to not hit anything, and that is unsurprising for anybody who watched the races last year. Matt Schlosser was quite the lucky guy over and over. And I think he might be one of the only ones that finished up front in the sprint race that got through that gigantic wreck right there as we come back around under caution right now. Might want to check out some more replays real quick. Going to take a while for these guys to get roped up, get their damage fixed. The cautions here are going to take a while.
Well, that 70 truck definitely seen better days.
Oh yeah, definitely not the beginning that he needed. But he said it, right? Didn't he not, Big Al? We had him up here. We got a piece of his mind, and he called it. He said it's going to be treacherous. Something, you know, the track blocking wreck might be bound to happen, and he called lightning, and it struck.
Indeed, good call. But fortunately, these guys have a little bit of a magic wand there behind that wall. It's going to make fixing those trucks a lot easier, a lot quicker. I'll be right back out here momentarily. That's going to make everybody happier because to have your shots dashed here on lap 1, that's not what anybody's thinking.
No, it's definitely not ideal, but sometimes that is just a part of racing. You know, we see these inverts cause the chaos, so I guess that if you're gonna have the invert like this, and I think a fast repair is pretty fair. You know, fast repairs kind of rub people the wrong way sometimes, but when you have that big of an invert and put people in vulnerable spots, you know, the fast repair is probably a good thing. But up front, Daniel Foss and Jacob Phillips. Right now, the big beneficiaries of that last incident. Pit road has not been open for the field yet. They had to come around and catch the pace car. So I think now might be a good chance to get one of our ad breaks in with our sponsors and our partners, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Coronado. Believe it or not, we have not gotten back around to the pit lane yet. But one thing about this caution here, Big Al, we don't see many cautions here on the road courses, but the clock is still ticking. We are already down to 28 minutes. Maybe come down, top off on the fuel now, and go the rest of the way might be an option.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, at this point, you got to take any opportunity to come down to top off that you can because, you know, even if there is another caution, it might mean not having to stop then. I don't know. Right now, there's just there was a monkey and there was a wrench and then there was a plan. And somehow, the monkey and the wrench got thrown right up into the middle of the plan.
And you see your top three stay out. You always got me cracking up on air. The top three staying out right now for the moment. They're going to hold on to that track position. Just about everybody behind them, though, behind this top 6 or 7 cars is going to come down and top off on fuel, get that fast repair. And that might be a good scope on just how massive that wreck was there on that start. And I wouldn't really necessarily count on a caution to happen again. This is the first time they've thrown one on the road courses. At least all of last season, we did not get one. So we got a couple blown motors on pit road. I believe that is the Ford truck of Randy Gross. Team Randy taking a beating tonight. He is going to have to limp into his pit box with a blown motor. But with the fast repair, he should be getting away. And there he is, getting going. You see the field leaving pit road. Oof, almost out of breath after all of that. And I must say, some of our winners tonight that were able to necessarily come down pit road, get that fast repair, and get back out in good position. You know, we got Joseph Klein, who's got a lot of speed in that 14, he's going to be sitting third. Jay Bass, a lot of speed in that 53, sitting fourth. But even inside the top 10, Michael McCoy, Aaron Smith, Jimmy Moore, they were able to come around, get to pit road, get off pit road, and it's up in the top 10. It's seemingly almost like the big wreck worked out for them.
Like you said, the big wreck worked out for him. Rarely have I ever heard that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a rare occurrence, unless you don't, especially when you're involved in the wreck like the 12 truck was. You see the long line, the single file line back there. That is because these guys are all exiting pit road and have some sort of black flag, a speeding or something like that. That's going to create a long single file line. It's going to kind of make the restart look a little weird. We got some sort of problem under yellow. Oof, we've had some stuff here tonight. Oh, it's the 70 and the 12 are going to have to let some trucks by.
Quite a few, I'm assuming, because the 70, he had to come down. He would not have made it back around under the pace lap. So he did pit out of sequence, would actually put him at the end of the longest line.
Yes, him and Jimmy Moore both given EOL penalties. Man, that is going to open the door for some guys up front. We were just talking about how it looked like these guys had lucked out, and we might have ratted them out, man.
Hey, look at it as just another inversion.
That is true. Just another inversion for them. Yeah. I'm looking through the back half of this top 10 now. Evan Hubchak is going to be sitting ninth. Got Mark Royce up there as well. Chase Berry in the 17. There is some speed in some of these guys up there. But the one truck I think is going to be sitting real pretty is that 14 of Joseph Klein. We saw him win a race here on the road courses last season. We know he's got some good pace in that 14 truck. Just needed some luck on his side sometimes in some of those feature races last year. I remember him having the invert pole and then, having some trouble in the first couple laps. But another great position for him to be in, starting off and getting the second start, I should say, of this feature race.
Yeah, watching these guys starting to figure out their plan because, like I said, that when the monkey wrench got thrown into the plan, everything kind of went south and everybody's having to regroup, get back to the drawing board. You got to assess exactly where they even sit in this situation because, hey, look, a lot of guys were sitting pretty under the first inversion, but now they've lost fast repairs. They've got black flags. Life is just totally different right now.
Yeah, life is different for a lot of these guys compared to our initial start. And one thing that's going to be very different about the length of this race, we are down to 23 minutes left in this time to race. We've wasted 12 of it under caution pretty much. So definitely going to be a different number at the end of the lap count, the end of this thing. And it's definitely turned this into more of a sprint race that whatever patience and whatever laissez-faire some of these guys might have had for the feature race is now out the window. It's going to be go, go, go from here on out as Daniel Foss and Jacob Phillips. Foss is the leader on that outside line. Coming into the restart zone, looking for a green flag, and we got it. Back underway, finally here at Coronado as Foss going to lose that spot to Jacob Phillips, getting better up through the gears into turn one. New leader is going to be the 56. Joseph Klein to the inside of Daniel Foss into turn two. Not going to get there. As you see back through the pack, pretty orderly so far, but we haven't gotten to that sweeper yet, Big Al.
Yeah, a lot of guys just trying to figure it out right now. You really got to unpack your patience slowly because, like I said, you're not going to have those big gains unless you start taking big risks. And it seems like a lot of these guys are shell shot. Might have been that major accident that they had, and understanding we still got quite a bit of time left to go. So this is the time to just go out there and be kind of wonky.
One truck on the move right there. Jeremy Schnackle up into the 7th position. He got around both Mark Royce and Wade Garland. Going down into the corners of 35, gets a piece of that inside wall right there on the brakes. Getting pretty swirly in that 35 as side by side behind him, Evan Hubchak and Mark Royce. The battle, I believe, for the 10th position. Mark's going to hold him off for right now. It's a truck in front of them. Oh, Garland's going to get on the brakes to the inside of the 35. 44 with a little bit of contact. Oh, 35 into the wall there.
Woo,
he's going to be going
around.
There's another one right there.
One.
Evan Hubchak, Ryan Campbell.
Still not done wrecking.
Laura Wiesen behind them, and the yellow flag comes out yet again. Checking it out on the replay here, you see two trucks going into a space fit for one. The 35 slow through that little bit of a chicane right there, a flat out chicane, I should say. Contact with the 7 of Hubchak, and around they go. Checking it out again here on the replay. 35 lifts for the 44. Just nowhere to go. 84, big contact with the inside wall. Ryan Campbell, top 5 finisher in the sprint involved. Johnny Rapp going to take a park right alongside that 84. And we are 2 for 2 on these first laps. What do you see right here, Big Al?
I was watching this when it happened. It just appeared that the 7 kind of got into the tailgate right there. The truck that was in front of him, and that's kind of where it all began, fighting for that same piece of real estate going into the corner.
Yeah, it's evident right here. That 35 was struggling and hit the wall a couple times. Had just gotten passed by that 44, and
yeah, there it is.
Looked like he might have just gotten off the throttle just a little bit at the worst time when that 7 truck was right there. And man, that was just a bad deal, especially sitting on board with the 84 right here of Laura Wiesman. And the bad part is these guys have already used their fast repair, so they're going to have to come down and get their damage fixed the old-fashioned way. See Schlosser right there behind her. Maybe a little contact. I think that might have explained why Laura hit that wall so hard. A little bit of contact there from the 400. He might be carrying some damage right now as well.
Yeah, the best part is, though, such a long way around this racetrack, these guys will actually be able to come back and get most of that damage fixed. But you got to find ways to avoid that, because you're not going to, these trucks, you can only beat them out so many times.
Schlosser took a tow as well, so he must have really gotten involved in that wreck further up the road. Him and the 24, the 115 of Mike Thompson, all towing back to pit road. Not the start of this championship defense that Matt Schlosser needed right now. This top 10 has been flipped upside down, and that clock's still ticking, Big Al.
Tick tock. It's like we're just sitting there watching it slowly go down. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, I see some F-16s right there on the tarmac. Right now, Jacob Phillips, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind some yellow flags that run this clock out right now, because to him it doesn't matter. He's leading either way.
Yep.
But with the second caution coming out as well, Big Al, well, we do go back green probably with about maybe 13 minutes left. These guys are going to be balls to the wall, just knowing that the possibility of that yellow flag is out there if we get another big wreck. So, guys like Joseph Klein, Michael McCoy, they're going to be wanting to take these positions right off the get-go.
I don't think they're going to have much of a choice. You got to go, and it's go time. It'd be different if you had the time you initially had, but now you've lost so much time to pacing and pace laps that everybody's strategy has kind of been thrown out of the window, and you don't even know how much time because there very easily could be a couple more cautions.
That is true. Well, one thing that we are thinking about doing for this season here, Big Al, is talking to some of these guys involved in the wreck. And I got somebody right here with us. I'm going to see if we can get a little bit of Evan Hoopchak's ear. Evan, this is the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, we just saw another big wreck happen and lightning strike twice in this pack. Can you run us through your mind what happened there and give us your thoughts?
Yeah, I feel like I caused it. I mean, I getting all bunched up and I, shoved a nose on the inside. And, I thought there should have been some room, but I got a car on my outside too. So just, a little bit of chaos back there.
Yeah, describe to us the tension and the chaos that has been in this feature race from even before the green flag started with the invert, and now we have, two big wrecks. This is a little unusual for this league, is it not?
Well, we're trying something new out, and it's a lot of long laps under caution. I think everyone just gets really antsy and wants to grab as many spots as possible. So, cautions kind of lead to cautions, I think, in this case.
Well, we saw you were pretty close to that victory last year. Had a couple podiums that wrapped it up, and do you think that maybe this year you can maybe get over that hump and challenge for some wins, especially off of the super speedways? Because you got a shot at Talladega and Daytona like everybody else.
Yeah, I hope so. It's nice having top 5 pace at least in quali. So just need to put together in the race, and there's some fast guys out there. McCoy, Aaron Smith. I'm not going to beat them on raw pace. I'll need a little help, but you never know.
And especially if they all go like they did this week, it might be a lottery week in and week out. Now, going to be restarting pretty far back. Obviously, you came down, got some of that damage fixed. What
first
is
time,
the
second
end
time,
goal?
not so much. So my truck's pretty banged up right now.
Truck's pretty banged up. So your goal here is probably just to bring it home and survive what's left of this 14 minutes.
Correct. Yeah.
And who knows? We might get another big wreck and another caution. And you might finish higher up than you thought.
Yeah, we'll see, but I'm just going to try and keep my nose clean here.
Well, it's Evan Hoopchak. Big Gal, you got anything to holler at him?
No, man, Evan, sorry about your luck, bud. Maybe next time.
Yep, absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
And good luck from here on out. That is going to be that Evan Hoopchak in the 7 truck. Try to drag him out of there. Should be good to go now.
So much for lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7 was not lucky tonight. That is true. That must not be very much of a racing thing. The lucky number 7. I never saw 7 be pretty lucky in racing. How about you? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been old 7 car.
And Robbie
Sterling
Gordon.
Marlin.
Yeah.
Sterling Marlin. I go back farther than that.
Long way. Yeah. I never heard lucky number 48. That seemed pretty lucky growing up, I must say.
Okay. That was Jimmy. That was my guy.
Yeah. A lot of success out of that number. I don't think we have a 48 out here this year on this racetrack. Maybe I ought to dust the old truck off and put a number 48 on the side just to scare some of these guys.
Yeah. So we're all getting ready to go. Pace cars bringing them around. Just 12 minutes left in this thing. We literally just spent over 10 minutes pacing. So that's going to put what turned out, what we thought was going to be just brutal is just been more grazing.
More grazing, that is for sure, out here in the pasture that is San Diego.
Yeah, the concrete pasture.
The concrete pasture. But, this is not something I think these guys do often, is throw those cautions out on the road courses, and this is just the downside of it being such a long lap. It was even like this in the real races when we had cautions. I believe there was the Xfinity race took what felt like 4 hours, because they had 8-9 cautions in that deal. See a little bit of a stack up there under caution. Jacob Phillips kind of stacking them all up. We're going to get going here. I don't have another lap number, but I think we're going to be looking at maybe 4 laps to go across the line, maybe even 3. I think 3 might be the number. This feature race has turned into a sprint one. Talking about being an endurance test at the beginning did not turn out that way. But you know it as well as I do, Big Al. Everybody in the top 10's got a shot at this one, especially with some of these different players up front.
Yep.
Through the chicane, Jacob Phillips, Daniel Foss, your front row. Trying to really capitalize on the luck that was that invert tonight. Joseph Klein going to be starting 3rd. Jay Bast in 4th. Michael McCoy 5th. We know there's some speed in that 33 truck. He might be one to watch here as the green flag is out yet again here at Naval Base Coronado. 10 minutes to go on the clock.
Yeah, and I think this is even going to add more to the chaos that's going to ensue because drivers are literally running out of time. I mean, it's go time right now as we come into the turn.
Big move back there by the
3
7.
wide.
Trying to get some positions there inside the top 10. That is Chase Berry in the 17. He's going to be stuck behind that 230. It's the battle up front heating up. Here comes Joseph Klein to the back bumper of Jacob Phillips. I heard Jacob tap the wall there on the inside. It's going to cost him some speed up the chute. Into turn 5 this time. Side by side for the lead. Jacob Phillips able to hold him off into the braking zone. But here comes Klein back down to the inside. Not able to get there.
Ooh. 18 truck going hard into the corner there. That's going to put the 65 to slow down.
To the inside goes Klein. Not what Stamp Sonder needed is that slowdown there, but side by side up front still. These guys able to keep it off each other, but Klein can get the job done. You saw a big wheel spin out of the back of that guy.
He's fishtailing all the way.
He had to work for it, huh?
Yeah, it can't be good for the tire situation, but we're going to see how it plays out.
Yeah, not much more laps to use the tires, so might as well use them up while you got them.
Amen. Get it done.
While you got them. Joseph Klein breaking away just a little bit over Jacob Phillips. Daniel Foss still sitting there in that 3rd spot. Then it's Jay Bass and Jeffrey Schnackle. Restarted 7th. He is up into that 5th position. Behind him is Chase Berry. And Jimmy Moore coming back from that EOL penalty on the last restart. Back up inside the top 10. Closing in on that top 5. Not over for the 12 truck. And after that EOL. Oh, the 17 in the wall hard right there. Coming through that final turn.
You can only do that a couple times.
You can only do that a couple times. That is true. You see more struggles for Chase Berry getting on the gas. It's to the inside. Can't see who that is trying to get around him. Is some more wall contact. I believe that is McCoy into 33. Guys fighting for position up into the sweeper. McCoy sitting in that 8th position is up ahead of him. Some big racing going on for that 3rd spot. Jay Bast all over the back of Daniel Foss. As Schnackle was actually able to get the move done on Bast going into that turn. So Schnackle have him up into the 3rd spot. I'm sorry, into the 4th spot. He tries to close in on that podium position that the 83 is holding. We saw some speed out of that 230 in the sprint race. Was not able to get around Aaron Smith, but here he is, Big Al, knocking on the door of that podium.
Yeah, he definitely is going to. Whoa, we got a truck coming in hot behind him. There's been another driver to watch out for, but I'm going to tell you that 230 is not. He is not afraid to use the bumper of that 230 to get the job done. We'll be waiting for him to do just that, as we're literally running out of time. About
Literally
2
running
laps
out
left.
of time. Yeah, and he knows that he wants a shot at this win. He has to get around that 83. You see the 83 a little bit off center there, coming through into the braking zone. That's going to allow Jeffrey to close in. This is a corner right here these trucks do not turn into very well.
Ooh, coming in hot.
Oh, and there he goes sideways into the wall. Goes the 230 of Jeffrey Schnackle. He's going to lose 1-2 positions maybe. Jimmy Moore is going to get to that back bumper. That 230 fighting for dear life. Here comes the 12. Does he go to the inside? He does not.
Now the question is the 230 badly damaged? He's in the wall. That's right. I figured as much. I did not think that truck was just going to glance off the wall like that. That was a pretty solid blow. And we see everybody's just blowing by him now. So he's just trying to keep that thing pointed straight.
Yeah, if it wasn't damaged the first time, it definitely is now, as that 230 got a bunch of that outside wall on the front stretch like Chase Berry did, like a couple other trucks did in the sprint race. Very, very tough spot right there, that final turn here at Coronado.
Yeah, concrete does not flex, folks.
Jimmy Moore all over the back bumper of the 83, though. This is going to be the new battle for third. I'm sorry, this is for fourth. Jay Bass is now in third position. He was able to get around Daniel Foss in the mix of all that chaos. That 53, putting in another solid run. We saw that out of him plenty of times last year.
I tell you, one driver's not looking back. That is going to be the 14 of Joseph Klein. Oh, the 17 goes around. He's not going to be able to recover that one.
Well, he did, though. He just barely got it going. It's going to cost him plenty of spots.
It's going to cost him spots, and to be able to try to put that truck back into the same spot it was. That's once fourth it turned around. You see, he comes right in just a little hot there.
A little is an understatement right there. He was pretty hot on those brakes, but he was able to get off them in time, keep it out of the wall, at least hard, and he's going to keep going inside the top 10. Check back up here with the leader. That is Joseph Klein, able to put in some purple lap times last time around. We got a battle behind them heating up, though. That's Jacob Phillips and Jay Bast. And behind them closing in is the 12 of Jimmy Moore. Moore on the comeback of the night. Had that EOL. The start of that last, sorry, 2 restarts ago. In the back of the pack. And now he's up into the top 10, top 5 in fourth position. Oh, in the wall right there goes Phillips.
Where did Klein come from?
Big battle right here for the second spot on the podium. Here comes Bass to the inside of Phillips. Jimmy Moore trying to capitalize and get himself through as well. Big sideways out of the 56. That's going to release the 53 into second spot. And Moore is going to get around him as well. Not the lap that Jacob Phillips needed, but there goes Jay Bass wide. The seas have parted for Jimmy Moore up into the second spot around Jay Bass and Jacob Phillips. Does he have the time to close in on Klein? He's pretty far behind, about 2.5 seconds.
Two trucks, both the 54 and the 56 and the 53, both go around hard.
What in the world just happened?
Somebody parted the middle, looked like. I don't know. Just one truck went straight, one went left, one went right.
Oh, Phillips late on the brake.
There it is, the contact between the 56 and the 53.
Runs into the back of Jay Bass. You saw Phillips keep some other guys from getting involved, but your third and fourth place trucks are seemingly out of it.
Well, we got new ones. Michael McCoy back with that 33 truck. I mean, and he is on a look, he was up here one time before, had some bad luck, but now he's back on the podium. So run, Michael, run.
Bad luck is the story for this whole back half of the top 10, at least behind Joseph Klein. You know, Jimmy Moore with the EOL, McCoy with that spin earlier in the race. Campbell involved in that first track blocking wreck. So was the 230 of Schnackle. Schnackle still carrying damage from when he hit the wall. Chase Berry carrying some damage from the wall. 44 involved in the wreck. The bad luck continues down through the pack as Berry in the wall again there as they come across the line for the white flag. We're almost through with it, Big Al.
Hey, when you get a chance, look at the best lap times. Where did Joseph Klein come from?
Joseph, he always has that speed, man, in that back pocket. Once he gets going and once he gets out in front in clean air, he is up there with the best of them. Sometimes just getting there is the problem for Joseph Klein, but not tonight. He's been the lucky one tonight. Probably got a little lucky with that invert. And here he is knocking on the door of the first win to start the season here at San Diego.
Couldn't find a better way to start. Hopefully this momentum
better way
will catapult these guys forward at least for 2-3 more races. Next week's going to be a crapshoot.
Crapshoot indeed. That's these. I think all of them are crapshoots after watching tonight.
Yeah, you just really don't know how your luck's going to go at Talladega.
Battle for the final top 5 spot here in fifth. Schnackle sideways, Berry sideways, getting back in the gas. Both these trucks are damaged. Trying to bring home top 10 finishes, limp home. Berry able to get the job done on the 230. Just a couple more corners to go. Battle for third right here. Believe this is Klein. Just a couple more corners, but the battle for third still hot and heavy. Michael McCoy, Ryan Campbell. Final podium spot has not been decided.
Got another truck around.
Another truck around in the back. It's going to be Daniel Foss. He was inside the top 10. He is going to go around. Final corner here for Joseph Klein. Coming across to take home the checkered to start the road and plate season. Behind him, Jimmy Moore is going to come across in second. Michael McCoy third. Where is Ryan Campbell? Oh, there they are. Sorry, there's a lap truck there. Got me good. Michael McCoy, Ryan Campbell round out the top 4. Chase Berry 5th. Jeffrey Schnackle comes home in 6th. Mark Royce behind them in 7th. Man, that feature was certainly a show, Big Al.
Yeah. First we had a parade, and then we had a race.
Yeah, lots of new features to this road and plate league. I gotta say that 22 place invert definitely made this race a crapshoot, and looking forward to maybe seeing what happens next week at Talladega. It's just gonna add to that craziness that comes with Talladega.
I just can't. The one thing that's just look at Joseph Klein's fastest lap. I mean, he almost went sub 2:13.
Putting in some fast ones there at the end. That 14. I'm telling you, man, he has got some pace, and him starting off the season in this fashion, who knows where it can bring him. You know, we saw Matt Schlosser last year dominate on the road courses and be lucky on the ovals. And so if you're able to bring a level of domination to these road courses and a level of luck to those plate races, then the sky is the limit, especially if it's somebody with as much talent as this 14. If you can get a couple good runs together on these road courses, he's somebody to watch in that championship battle.
Indeed. All right, with celebrations coming to an end, we'll go ahead and step away, get a final word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with our post-race show.
Welcome back to San Diego. Just wrapping up the feature race here. Gonna have our results for you guys of the first race of the new Road and Plate season, the Palm Rat Road and Plate. First, first place, Joseph Klein, as Big Al said, putting in some fast laps there at the end. Was able to capitalize on the invert, come home the big winner tonight in that 14. Jimmy Moore able to survive that chaos and come home in second, even after the EOLs. Michael McCoy bringing home a solid run in third. Ryan Campbell, another solid run out of that 18 truck, building off of the momentum from last year's second place run in the points, coming home in fourth. Chase Berry able to limp that damaged truck home in fifth. Jeffrey Schnackle, big debut out of that 230. Saw a lot of speed out of him. He's going to be somebody to watch coming home in sixth. Mark Royce, another steady Eddie, bringing it home in seventh. Jay Bass, tough luck for the 53, running up in the podium spot there at the end. Got into it with Jacob Phillips. He's going to come home in eighth. Benson Weaver in ninth. And Daniel Foss going to round out that top 10, even with that spin on the final lap.
That's right. That's going to put none other than Zachary Mitchell himself in 11th. Sam Stoner is going to come across in 12th. 13th place is going to be Sean Campbell. 14th place, the number 7 of Evan Hoopchop. 15th, Laura Weissman. 16th place, Aaron Bray. Johnny Rapp comes across in 17th. Tom Went in 18th. Chris Winslow and Wayne Garland round out your top 20.
24th position tonight is going to be Tom Wink in that. I'm sorry, I got a different finishing order here. If you want to go to the next page for me, Cam.
I'm trying to.
I got 21st as Tom Wink, but either way, Chris Winslow came across in 22nd. 23rd is going to be Wade Garland in that 35 truck. And a bunch of trucks here not able to get the jobs done. Finished off the lead lap. We got Jacob Phillips, Steve Vest, Randy Gross, Matt Schlosser, Mike Thompson, Aaron Smith, Dan Ott, all finding themselves in the dumpster tonight with some race damage after a couple big wrecks that we had here at Naval Base Coronado. That is going to round out the field. Gonna have our third place driver in here, Michael McCoy. Gonna ask him a few things. Michael McCoy, boys in the booth, you got a copy?
Copy.
Well, third place to start off the season. That was certainly a chaotic race. Run us through your night.
Go through a process of myself. The heat race, I thought I had good pace, like the finish in the top 3, but end up spinning myself, trying to, drive in my mirror. So that was on me. The sprint race, I really didn't know how that was going to go after so many cautions that started out. I'm just glad I was able to maximize points and get the podium.
A podium finish is what you ended up with. Building off of this to continue the season, what is the mindset going into Talladega and eventually Barber in 2 weeks?
Just to maximize points. I just set like a realistic expectation of myself. So if I can walk away, top 5, top 10, I'll be happy with that.
Well, that is a lofty goal to put ahead, and maybe we can see you up front at the end of the season. Any love or shout outs you'd like to give to celebrate your third place run tonight?
I just want to shout out to my painter, Dan Ott. He always hooks me up with the awesome liveries, paint jobs. He's the best in the business.
I can agree with that. Michael McCoy, your third place finisher tonight. Congratulations, bud. I'm going to send it over with Big Al. He is going to be with second place finisher Jimmy Moore.
Hello.
Hey, Jimmy Moore, Big Al up in the booth. You got me.
Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, man, probably not as good as you. You got to be feeling pretty pumped up here, being able to hold it together and finish in second place here tonight.
Yeah, it was chaos out there. Definitely some potential format changes coming for next week. We're still in the growing pains phase, so we'll see how things feel. But yeah, I'm very happy with that result. Able to hold on there and bring her home in second place after some other people's misfortune, shall we say.
Yeah, who doesn't love a second place finish, man? So, what was your greatest challenge out there, especially in the transition from the heat race to the main race here, the main event?
Well, when I started the heat, I had 6 cars in front of me. And when I started the main, I had like 15 cars in front of me. Drove through 2 track blockers. That was impressive. Uh, Honestly, not sure how I managed to survive both of those. Things definitely just kind of had to go my way there. So hopefully, you know, can capitalize on that. Keep making some changes throughout the year. Hopefully, format changes go our way, inverts go my way, and we'll be in contention. I'm definitely excited for the rest of the season. I'm hopeful that we'll continue to have some really good results.
All right, so tonight you came here and you showed everyone that you actually have a fast truck capable of bringing it on the podium. Next week, though, we're headed to Talladega, and that's kind of a crapshoot. Got any predictions for us?
Less chaos. I
So
think
let's
I think you
chaos.
yeah, absolutely. I think you're gonna see some very different racing next week. I think things are gonna be a lot calmer, a lot cooler. Cooler heads will definitely prevail. And, it's such a wide track as well. You're not gonna see track blockers. We'll probably see maybe one big one, but hopefully that's it, and then we'll be able to race it out for a proper race distance and get to have a good time,
Heck
put
yeah,
on a good show for you guys.
I need you to start doing my financial forecast or something. So you're saying Talladega is going to be less? I'm just like, man, tell me
Oh,
more.
absolutely. There is no way that Talladega is anywhere near as chaotic as this. This was insanity. I mean, that is just such a fun racetrack, though. So we'll look back, see what we can do differently, and move on, try to capitalize, win a few races, maybe see what we can do in the championship. I'm aiming for top 3. I think top
All
3
right.
is going to be my goal.
Well, that's a bold prediction, and I want to see how you do on that. Hey, who else you
Yeah,
shouting
feel
out
free to
here
call
tonight?
me out next week if I'm
Hey,
wrong, by the way. You can pull me in as soon as I get murdered in the big one, the third big one. You can pull me in and say you are stupid and dumb, and you know what?
no,
I'll probably agree with you.
I don't usually call people out like that. I'll call you out, but yeah, we'll see how it works out. Who you shouting out here tonight after your overall dominating second place performance?
Yeah, I want to shout out Evan Hoopchak and Palmerack Golfer, allowing us to do all this, putting us on. I want to shout out myself, Undercut Overheard Racing. Some good content you'll see coming out. We've taken a bit of a hiatus, but we'll be coming back soon. So, gonna be some fun content there. Thank you to you guys for being here, putting this on. You guys, I'm sure, had a gargantuan task of filling that dead air with the you know I don't know even what to call it. It was terrifying.
It was fine.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here, and we will see you guys next week at Talladega. It's gonna be a good time.
Roger, man. We appreciate you because without you, we would have nothing to talk about, man. As I always say, don't party too hard, and we'll see you at Dega.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Back to you, Sean.
Alrighty, that was Big Al, your second place runner tonight. I am here with your big winner, Joseph Klein, in the 14. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Doing good. How are you doing, man? Congratulations on your win tonight to start off the season. Run us through that whole feature race, because we didn't even know how you got to the front necessarily. You were just there, got the job done, and pulled away.
Appreciate it. I think we had restarted started the feature like mid-pack, and then I saw a truck bounce off the inside wall, I think into 3, first long right-hander, like bumpy where the railroads are. And then, yeah, it was just like a ping pong effect. And I was like, dude, just go right, get away from them all. And then the yellow came on. I think I was like 5th or something. And we came back around and said that pits would be open. And I was like, well, I'm not pitting. No way. I'll just save fuel as we pace. And that kind of ended up being the way to just hang on to track position because I didn't want to have to claw back through the field. So yeah, I just saved enough fuel as we paced and was able to just find my pace and pull away.
Pull away is what you did. We're watching that battle with Jacob Phillips on the screen right now, and that was a pretty hard fought battle. And I gotta give you props for not making contact with him. Did you feel the sweat coming through the palms as you were battling him, knowing that if you got around him, you were probably going to be able to drive away, or did you, in the back of that mind, just think that maybe like another caution was going to come out?
I wanted to get in front of him just in case a yellow came out, because at that point the race would basically be over. Or if we had like a one lap shootout, like I could at least, um, be in the lead to set the pace for the restart. But yeah, no, it's kind of one thing I just strive to be as clean as possible, but race people with respect, and I just like racing, man.
We just like racing too up here in the booth, and yeah, that's definitely what we saw tonight. No matter how you package it, we're gonna be here enjoying it. Building off of this, you're gonna be going to Talladega next week, but you had some luck on your side tonight. Do you think the luck is gonna carry over into a place where you're really gonna need it out there on the super speedway?
Talladega, I mean, it could be anybody's race. I hope luck is on my side for that as we, start the season with the championship lead, but it could flip to whatever at any point. So I'd probably just strive to have a safe race there, or as safe as you can have for Talladega, and try and maximize points.
Well, congratulations on your big win tonight, Joseph. Was there any love or shout outs you'd like to hand out to celebrate your first place finish?
Been chasing a feature win in this league for a while. I'd like to give a shout out to Dustin for letting me get into the league a few seasons ago. Jimmy for holding it down. You guys in the broadcast booth, Jacob, Jay, and everybody, and Daniel, everybody in there that just races clean. That's really what leagues are all about, is just racing hard but clean and respectful. So yeah, huge shout out to just everyone in the league that contributes. And that's about it.
Well, congratulations, Joseph. That is your 14th of Joseph Klein, your big winner tonight. Big Al, I think we had our hands full with a whole lot of chaos, but we were able to get through it and had a pretty decent race out of it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I couldn't find a better partner to call it with. Hopefully we'll be able to do this again next week. Thank you guys for the opportunity, man. These guys actually put on quite a show. I can't wait to see what the encore entails.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of good shows coming up. Coming up next, Talladega, and then on the road course at Barber. I want to thank some of our sponsors. We're going to thank Evan Pianta Design, Undercut Overheard Podcast, and Palm Rat Golf. And that, ladies and folks, is going to be it tonight. That was the opening round of the Road and Plate Palm Rat Truck Series. I am Sean Signori here with Big Al and Cam. We're going to see y'all next week.